But whatever they're trying to tell me in the media to say that Depp was doing this, Depp was doing that, that just wasn't present. I couldn't see it. Like I've literally tried screening for it, and I'm like, I can actually make a better case for Depp than for Amber Heard because I've never seen anybody that would say.
All right, we are joined with, I'm going to try not to mangle the name, but Dr. Heinz Ermitteln?
Yeah, it's you can call me Ermitteln as well, but it's supposed to be German for investigates. So yeah, because it actually came from Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz, but because it's obviously patented and taken, I was like, okay, what do I call myself now? Because so that was the best guess to keep up with the whole name that came before it. That
Oh, and
was
what's
it.
a doctor? Is that a medical degree or is that like a DJ name?
Derivative, yeah, it's an alias. So yeah, I used to be a DJ, yeah. So it kind of flowed from there, but it is like that, yeah.
Cool. Now, okay, so you have a YouTube channel. I've been exposed to you a little bit on Twitter. One of I don't know, somebody reached out and they said, you got to get him on. And I know we've sort of crossed paths. I think you've done a little bit of coverage of Johnny Depp, a little bit of coverage of the illustrious Christopher Boozy, or notorious, or infamous. Pick your term, pick your adjective. What is your channel all about?
Okay, channel is pretty much about uh doing basically, if I could simplify it to a few words, is basically bringing together all the facts on cases that are either being heavily misrepresented or the person has just completely tried to destroy evidence. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm the screenshotter. I'm going to get everything I could, and then I'll bring it together.
What got you interested in Johnny Depp and Amber Heard?
Well, watching the trial live was surreal. So that really got me interested. I've always had an interest in legal cases, and one day I actually didn't think I would be covering it one day, but here I am. But um what got me into it was just seeing and I probably shouldn't say this, it's a bit biased, but seeing my ex in Amber Heard. So I was like, that really, it was weird. And then what really got me into it and really didn't let me stop the discourse was seeing how the media is now turning around to defend someone like my ex. And that didn't really sit down well with me. So um it it it's really that simple. I just did not like the idea that somebody is telling me that what I experienced, what I saw for 6 weeks, and I didn't miss a beat. I was watching it for 6 weeks, was all a lie, and it was all, how do you put it? It's smear campaign by Depp, that it worked, that they pulled the wool over our eyes, even after digging into the case and pulling out as much as I could to actually understand. Maybe I have been fooled. Maybe they're right. So I went on that rabbit hole, and I found out no, they're just trying to protect somebody. In my own opinion, they're trying to protect somebody that has really been a detriment to their movement.
Okay, so you feel that the jury got it right.
Absolutely, they could not have got it even more right if they're all blind and deaf.
Okay, so jumping back, did you already have a YouTube channel before the trial all started, or did the trial inspire you to create one?
Okay, I had two. YouTube channels. So from my DJ days, I really wanted to do, I've always wanted to do YouTube, if I'm being honest with you, but I just never had the confidence or the self belief that I have now. I probably still have little self belief, but that's neither here or there. But I ran a music channel where I was doing album reviews, etc., and music commentary, etc. That didn't that didn't pan out because I just stopped focusing on music, and then I moved on to football, which is really big over here. That didn't pan out as well.
Now,
So
folks, that's really soccer. I mean, we all know that football itself is American. We don't acknowledge that dumb term from other
I don't
countries.
understand. You kick a ball. It's called foot. Like, you don't pick up a ball and throw it. You kick it. I don't. Never mind. Never mind.
Yes, but we are correct, and might makes right.
Oh Lord. I mean, you do have Lionel Messi playing in the league now. In the MLS. So that's something. He's living in Miami. So that's something.
Yeah,
But
we buy him at the end. Didn't we buy the other big one who was married to a Spice Girl?
yeah, David Beckham. He's changed the landscape of I'll say it for respect of soccer. There, he's changed the landscape of soccer over there. So, but yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He got me into La Liga, which is the Spanish equivalent, and he got me into the MLS, like watching both leagues. If not from
Cool.
there, yeah. So he's a big deal over here, massive deal, massive deal. So yeah. So, but yeah, I was covering the football stuff, and I had a crisis in of health, where I suffer from psychosis. So it wasn't something I wanted to do anymore.
Can
So
we? That's kind of a big statement to lay out there. As much as you're comfortable with, can you tell me what exactly that means?
sure, psychosis is a dissociative. I can't say the word. It's when you are away from reality. You disassociate from reality. You have an episode in which you could be seeing things that are not there, hearing things that are not, real, and yeah, you just life as you know it is completely as you want it, but it's really not happening. And according to the doctors, it was already happening before I was, gone in for treatment. That's where everything changed. Because after I had gone out of the hospital a month later, um, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't function. My brain was mush. Uh, and so I was just trying to like recover from that. And yeah, so I didn't really know what direction my life was going
What
in.
happened? Was there something that initiated it, or when did you start to recognize? And I mean, seriously, as delicate as it can be. I really am curious. Others might want to know. It's kind of scary. I mean,
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. It's it's I'm going to talk about it one day, because living with it has been living recovering from it and trying to come to terms with reality has been a journey in of its own. So it's something that I would want to talk about, to actually maybe give, I don't know, anyone that may have gone through what I've gone through. But to go back to it, what triggered it was mainly I was doing drugs. So, but it wasn't
Mm.
multiple drugs or anything like that. It was doing marijuana.
I have heard of a relationship there.
Yeah. It still doesn't make sense to me because I I don't know, but it happened. It happened, but it was just strange that it was marijuana because usually, from what I've come to understand of it and learn from it, it's usually class A drugs like heroin and all of those really um, well-known drugs that cause it. But yes, marijuana can cause it as well. I was doing it in heavy doses. I would say like 3 to 5. Sorry, not five, not 3 to 5. That's a bit too kind. 5 to 8 a day. Like I would smoke 5 to 8 joints a day, and I was going through a really difficult period in my life. The doctors are actually saying that this is actually the main catalyst for it. It was because I was trying to deal with that. Um, uh, a lot of troubles, and it just happened. I was supposed. It was when I lost my job that it basically hit the fan, and it was a week or two later. No, a week later from that was when the episode happened. And yeah, and when I went to the hospital, there were so many things that was happening. Cannot remember the first 20 days to save my life if I really wanted to. Could not remember the first 20 days. The last eight, the last 8 days I could remember, but the dates in between is very, very, very fussy. I it's very yeah. Sometimes I get my memory back, and I have to deal with that because that brings its own kind of like trauma, all of that, because you know, it's something that you just it's strange. It's strange, and it's sorry. I'm very, very sorry that I'm going raw here.
No, please, no, 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 no. This is very interesting, and I'm very concerned about it. I'd actually love to talk to you more about it with a previous guest I've had on, Dr. Shaham Das, who is a psychiatrist who does treat people and has written about the ties between cannabis and psychosis. I don't know for sure, and I may be talking out of turn. I think I'm a good bit older than you. I'm 53. And there's a statement that people are making that today's cannabis, which I don't know if it's legal in England, it's legal in a lot of parts of the US now, but it has become very, very refined. And it is not the same cannabis or the same weed of the 70s and the 80s, even the 90s, because it's been crossbred and enhanced to a great degree, if that makes sense. So I don't know, what it is like in England or your sources, but that could be a factor that does bring it in that class A range you were speaking of.
That could, yeah, it could be. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know anything about it, and I still don't know much about drugs. In fact, I'm not even a drug user. I'll be very honest. First time I done drugs was when I went to uni. I had it was skunk. Well, my same thing,
Right, which was
But
very different, I'm guessing, than what you had when this all happened. The
yes,
skunk
yeah,
versus that. So
yeah.
there you
So
go.
that was very different, and I never done it again. When I was with my ex-wife, there was a lot of. She was an habitual user. We done it together, and when I left that relationship, never done it until COVID happened, and I was a full-time DJ as well, so I wasn't working. I was always self-employed from uni to COVID. So um, when COVID happened, that's when I started doing it on my own volition, and pretty much it just spiraled from there. So um, it's never been something that I would do, but yes, from what I've been told, it is usually laced with something. But no one knows what it is, but it's usually laced with something, and um, yeah, I probably just got some. I just probably got the wrong product in that week. It's probably just that simple.
I don't know if this is a silver lining or not, but at least what you suffered appears to be from an external factor as a side effect versus just something that you suffered without something else going on. I don't know if that makes any difference, but that would seem to be more hopeful, because if you take that substance out of your life, then it's less likely to repeat itself.
Oh, that's what you mean. So it's not necessarily neurologically linked.
Hopefully. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah. That's what I'm hoping for as well, because I I mean my key worker says that I'm fine now, and I've recovered, but again, I don't know what it triggered. I mean, nothing came back as as any disorders or anything, because I had every test done while I was in there, while I was in the hospital. Nothing came back. But but there are times, and I'll be honest here, there are times that, especially with all of what's going on in my life, um, there are times that I do question. I mean, I joke about it, but I actually genuinely do question: am I actually still in the hospital? And this is literally all in my head. And I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, and I'm gonna be in, like, like the single bed I was in, and with the sheets and everything. Is this the reality, or am I living in that? Like, I have those moments that I literally do question my own reality sometimes, because I don't know what's going on. So I've got some good friends around me. They they know what they know what I've been through. They know, so they just say, no, no, it's all real. It's all real. Don't worry about it. My mom has been a great support. She does the same. I go to see her. Every time I that's when I notice that when I go through this, I do need to take that trip, because every time I go see her, I do feel a lot better, and I do feel, yeah, this is I that's something I never did before. Like, when I was there, and when I was going through all of this, I was always in places outside of my home. And that's probably the saving grace, that I know I can go home, and that will be a ground, because I never once had a I was always envisioning living in like, going to a festival, or living in a nice house, or anything like that. And so many other things I was envisioning that had my real life around it, but it was in much better condition. So every moment that I feel like I'm doing the right things to get there, I feel like, oh, wait, is this real? Like, does that make sense? Because a lot of a lot of real life stuff was interwoven with the halluc- hallucinations that I was putting out for myself. But I never once thought of my parents, my brothers, my sisters, all of the. I never once thought about them. So
Is that because, man, maybe I'm wrong. Are they helpful in the sense that they existed before the troubles you were having? So they might be like an anchor back to your core, an anchor back to your youth. Like you went through a time that you struggled, but they weren't a part of the struggle. They're kind of the part of your life that was constant and pure.
yes, you could put it like that. I think that would be a fair thing to say. Um, I I would I think that's the first thing to say. So yes, they are an anchor, but the way I'm interpreting or seeing it is that not once did I not once did I think of them. when I was going through all of this. So I didn't envision that I was always with my family on an island somewhere. You know, it was always me and my grandiose kind of feelings. Do you know what I mean?
So you're
Like,
untethered.
yeah, yeah. So I don't know why none of those hallucinations included my family. I don't know why, sorry, didn't include my family. Sorry. I don't know why I never thought about them or anything like that. But it's a blessing now because I know because I didn't, I can actually go there. I'm like, yeah, this is real. I didn't. This is actually probably the only real thing that happened because I didn't think about my childhood. Did not think about anything else. It was just what every dream and everything that I've always, I don't know, just like things I just wanted to do, and it was nothing to do with them. So every time I go to see, I go see my parents, I go see my brother and sisters, I'm fine. Like it's really calming. So I start doing that a lot more, and it's helped me a lot.
Okay. I find it interesting that you use the term grandiosity and grandiose, and I'm wondering if you somehow got caught up in ego or something and substance being mixed together.
I I would say I've always had an ego. I've always had a bit of, I wouldn't say a bit. It was worse when I was younger. So um I've always had that little bit of, and then I was taken down a peg. When I got to uni, I was taken down a peg, and then I've had to like reevaluate things. So when I look at the grandiose aspects of all of those things, I feel like that was kind of the repressed kind of emotions from uni, and from like, like, and the bullying that I experienced in you, and I'm sorry, not in uni, sorry, in school. I feel like those were all the things like manifesting because I was a troubled child. I'm not gonna lie. I was a very arrogant thing. I say that I say now that I go to the library do to like read and stuff, but the context behind me even going to library is because I wasn't accepted anywhere else. I was actually a dipshit. Sorry if I
That's
I,
fine.
I wasn't the best person. So
Life kicks
yeah,
us in the ass, man.
yeah. School was eye opening because when you square up to the wrong person, yeah, yeah, you kind of wish you didn't do that. And so I was the outcast, and then I had to move. Yeah, I just had to do other things. I was embarrassed. So I felt, I mean, yeah, I felt like this episode kind of was all of those memories, the things I didn't get to do, kind of surfacing now and like letting loose. Like, oh, and that was basically it.
That's fantastic. It sounds like you're building some distance from the worst of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You could say because I've never liked myself, and I think that a lot of that is to do with childhood, and it's to do with coming to terms with a lot of the things that I've done because I've never I've this I'm saying all of this because this was a year ago. So when I came out of hospital, I had a therapist that was helping me, come to terms with all of this. And I've never had a chance to deal with any of the troubles that I had. I could even go out on a limb and say if I didn't get abused by my ex-wife, not saying it's okay, but if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be on this journey because I was genuinely wondering why am I in such destructive relationships? Why can't I, all of those things? And I would pretty much say that's when it started. Um, but yeah, I've never really wanted to look inwards. Never really wanted to accept things. You know, I've always run away from myself. So this was being with yourself 24/7 to recover can drive you crazy, can also bring some uncomfortable truths that you just have to deal with. You just couldn't. I felt that everything that happened was to bring me to a point that I just couldn't run away anymore. I just couldn't make excuses anymore. I just had it forced me to just accept a lot of things. And I had a great friend at the time who we're no longer friends, but she I think she's married now. But yeah, we no longer friends. But what she was helping me doing was just taking account for everything that was coming to the surface, and that really helped. The journaling really helped. The therapist got me to understand why I was ruminating on so many of the things that I was going through in my life. It really helped. Um,
Were you working through your own history with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, perhaps? Kind of like observing a version of yourself in Johnny Depp? Not exactly, but sort of.
I understand. I understand what you mean. Yeah. I would say yeah, it definitely played a part because there were I think I'm not even exaggerating when I say that my ex was maybe carbon copy of Amber Heard. I did have false accusations levied on me, and it's something that thank God that she's not well known. Well, she is well known in her community, but thank God she's not a celeb, because that would have been a because it's one of those ones where I've seen this on play out, and no matter when you have an accusation levied against you, it doesn't matter. People will believe it, and people, even if you went above and beyond to prove that didn't happen, people will still believe it. So it's something that I can't even repeat. But yeah, she went out and put on her Facebook and said, "Yeah, I did this." She accused another guy in the same post that she accused me, but my accusation was super specific, and I was like, ah, that's when I started that's when I started looking into how abusers work, because it was not a great relationship. It was an abusive relationship. I was putting up with a lot, including physical, and the conversations was so akin. The only difference between the conversation between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp and mine was she would leave probably at the end of it. She'd be like, "Oh, we're broken up." Bang, blocks me everywhere, and then a few hours or maybe a day later, she'll unblock and say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." It just never made sense. It just never made sense. Um,
I think they
but
call it gaslighting.
yeah, spicy with a hint of gaslighting. But yeah, it happened a lot. She was a stepmom, um, and and I just don't know. But the signs were there. The parents were oddly asking me so many times, "Do you want to do this? Do you actually want to be with her?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm convinced." And exactly, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like now, I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, they were actually just like that should have been a sign to just run a mile. Like if the parents are asking you if you want to be with her, rather than no, go away, go, no, like she had bipolar. She had OCD as well. Maybe a personality disorder. I would never know, but I do know that she suffered from those things because I spoke to her doctor to like try and come to terms, not come to terms, but handle the whole thing, how I can handle it, blah blah. But um, but yeah, so yeah, the parents were warning me, she would do things such as, uh, if I went for a jog, it was an issue. If I couldn't even go for a jog, I would I would get an earful if I didn't tell her I was going for a jog, let alone go for a jog. Like she has to actually, she literally had to have say, "Oh no, but I might need you to do something around the house. You can't just get up and go for, you know." Anyway, um, but the parents were like always. They came in whenever she was busy, took me out because I feel the parents knew because they wanted to see what who I was to what she was presenting them, because I feel like she was telling whatever she was telling them, I have no idea. But when it came to when we were breaking up, the parents were calm. They were like, "Don't worry." What, like when she put up all of her posts, when I didn't take her back, the only person that didn't see me was the cousin, and yeah, the cousin, and basically he believed her, and but everyone else, the brother, the parents, they were like, no, just don't worry about it. We know you're not like that, because they all spend time with me. They all literally, they know how she works. I did not figure this out. I did not even, I kick myself sometimes because I'm like, the signs are obvious. The parents are like skilled in like doing all this because that's what they've had to deal with all their life. They've had doctors round the clock anyway. So yeah, it was an ordeal. It was an ordeal. But seeing all of that, I gone to see I saw the patterns a lot more fine tuned with Amber Heard. I saw what she was doing. I was able to look through it and try and, like, I gave her the fairest shake, but during the trial, because I knew something was off. But I was like, you know what? Let me just wait until the end. Nothing was presented for me to believe that, that this was anything else. Doing a deep dive again, it was even more conclusive because I was like, I'm listening to these audios and I'm like, it's so clear cut because because when you've been in that dynamic, you just tend to notice things. And if it was and the truth is, if it was Depp saying what she was saying, I would feel the exact same way for her, because I'd be like, no, Depp is like this. Like, I would notice it. But whatever they're trying to tell me in the media to say that Depp was doing this, Depp was doing that, that just wasn't present. I couldn't see it. Like, I've literally tried screening for it, and I'm like, I can actually make a better case for Depp than for Amber Heard, because I've never seen anybody that would say that you're trying. I don't know. You're trying to leave, and it's a problem.
Mhm.
What? That has always been, anyway. That's
No,
weird. That's weird.
so on that, you've done one part of a 3-part documentary. Do you already have the other 2 parts outlined, written out, or is it just a projection of what you think it might be?
Yeah, it's scripted. I'm going to record I don't like to put a date on these things, but I'm going to record tomorrow. I'm going to record tomorrow, but it's definitely
So
scripted.
that's
I'm just
August 11th, folks.
yeah, it should be like I'm a when it comes to editing, is I'm it's very quick. I think you might be able to relate. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I find the scripting and they're putting it all together, and like, you know, I find that to be a lot longer than when you have to edit it, because the instructions on my script are already there.
Mhm.
Where to put it, where to do all those things. So it's already laid out. All you have to is just do it. So when I finish recording, I know that it'll be out either Sunday or Monday, part two. Um,
Okay,
and
and what can we look forward to for part 2?
part part two is more of recapping the points that were introduced, and bringing a lot more information to, like, because I didn't expound a lot on the timeline that I gave. So it's just expounding more on that timeline that I gave to show what was being said, how it coincides with the audios played, how the media has actually turned this on its head, and yeah, and literally present all of that, and then go into the incidents and the background and present a lot more media clippings from when they were together, in tandem with what they were alleging, in tandem with what the transcripts uh, was revealing in terms of communications, and all of those, like bring all of them together in the time and dates that were provided. So um and also, yeah, and also they show one incident that should have been alleged by Amber, but she never alleged it. It should have been alleged Toronto. We keep hearing it in the audios. Toronto, Toronto, Toronto. Never alleged it. I have no idea why you wouldn't arrange it. No idea. But yeah, there we go. So I'll yeah.
All right. Well, perfect. It's something everybody can look forward to. I'm going to make sure there's a link to your channel in the description below. So folks, check it out. Hopefully he'll already have crossed the threshold, but he's heading quickly to 1,000 subs. Maybe we can get him the rest of the way there if he hasn't already got there already. And
Yeah.
Dr. Heinz, thank you so much.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank you, Eric, for having me.